out the front of 777. There's a cat. The door is open and it's just, I miss it. I was guided to just come on a secret little mission. So I do creepy things like this. I'm just gonna sit in front of the bus station here. Hopefully we get some light. I don't think so, but everybody's fucking houses are open. It's fine. Hello. So I'm gonna lock my doors just because I don't feel completely safe. Yes, so we come on secret little missions sometimes, and I wanted to, like, I don't know, I've got some moments to spare. I'm going on a little adventure. And I'm literally sitting just out the front of my old house, 777. The energies. The full moon, it's so beautiful. What is she doing? Anywho, look, I really appreciated this street. I was only here 4 months. It was a wild ride. But I do appreciate the vibes. I appreciate the abundance. I appreciated the magnificence. I appreciated the class that came with the house, the street, the trees. I even appreciated the pagans. I even appreciated the heathens around. I'm on a little mission. I'm actually heading to visit a friend. They're not quite home yet, so I thought I'd come here and feel the vibes. You know, I felt too creepy just sitting, like, right out the front of 777. Maybe the neighbours might ring the fucking cops and be like, what's this bitch doing back? We thought we survived her with our music blaring until fucking 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, I was on one, I must admit. I was lit up in spirit. It was when I was going through my spiritual psychosis. And, you know, I was just fucking on one. I was embodying demons, divine energies of emotion. But no, I really appreciate the vibe. Like, there's a ley line here. This is like the old establishment of Albury. Like, these would have been the first houses that were built right near the railway station, right? So, you know, it's a lot. There's like some type of ley line, and I speak about this with you guys. You know, if you're guided somewhere, go there. You know, like, ultimately you're being guided there for a reason. I have to keep my eye on the screen because my friend's gonna message, but yeah. Having supernatural faith. I'm going through a bit of a situation right now, and I'm being asked to have supernatural faith, right? Like, there are certain things that I have to do. There's certain things that I have to accumulate. There are certain... I gotta move, right? This is like the 6th time, like I mentioned on the last live, within the 2 months, because, you know, went here and there and everywhere, right? It just is what it is. My children really have been troopers throughout this whole process, and we've really been gifted an abundant house. You know, there's a bungalow, self-contained at the back for my 17-year-old now. He's nearly 18, like, you know, so they can start to become independent before they eventually want to move out. I mean, my kids can live with me till they're 50. Like, you know, I'm not pushing them out or anything, but, you know, they've expressed... Because I have 3 children under my house now because Noah's girlfriend moved in with us about like 12 months ago. So, you know, there's a lot going on. I seem, you know, to always have like a divine comforter, like I would call it, which is like, you know, a helper throughout the way. And, you know, Sunday is a really big help. She, you know, cooks dinner. She has been calming me down. Like, she said her today, like, her biggest phrase, this is my son's girlfriend, like, her biggest phrase, the most used phrase that she has stated this year has been, "It's okay, Emily." Like, because, you know, I don't really experience anxiety. I never really experienced depression, but I did experience anxiety, you know, like, quite full on at one point. Are you watching me Sunday? Because she's messaging me right now. And, you know, she really helps. But, you know, it is about having divine faith. I have been gifted supernatural faith. Like, a lot of people maybe from the outside will be like, oh yeah, you know, you're just going through a move. Like, you don't have to stress. But there is this, like, self-sabotaging wound that, you know, I have picked up through my trauma, through trials, trauma, and tribulations. Like, and, you know, it's just, like, not great. It's very full on, right? And you know, whenever things, I never used to have this. This is, like, very strange. It wasn't until I was, like, taken down, you know, by the ways of the world. I had psychiatrists running around, stabbing me in the butt with needles and shit like that. Like, that's really where my trauma, like, stemmed from. I didn't even know, like, that shit existed. And on the 4th day of me being in the mental institute, they're like, if you don't shut the fuck up, this is literally what the psychiatrist said. He's like, we're going to give you shock therapy. So, like, you know, shout out to fucking Nolan House, Aubrey Base. I spoke a little bit about this on my last YouTube channel, which got taken down. So, you know, I've been very resistant. Like, I've had a lot of fucking trauma from medicines in the Western world, right? And the way that they handle, like, a spiritual awakening, an ego death. Like, you know, I used to speak about how, like, they were doing so well in Harvard University. They're learning the difference between a psychiatric episode or, like, an ego death. Not here. Maybe in Melbourne or something, but I fucking doubt it. Like, they literally have no fucking idea. The spiritual is so unknown. It's the unseen. So, you know, to be able to cater for, you know, beings like us that have a zealousness to our spiritual beliefs, knowings, and gifts, you know, there's just nowhere in the ways of the world, in the Western world, that just cater to it. In the Eastern world, you know, you'd be seen as a shaman and you would be celebrated, you would be nurtured, the community would gather around you, which they do, you know. Anywho, is what it is. Everything is a lesson, test, and a blessing. And, you know, I've come out the other side so that I can help, you know, a lot of beings. I can help clients and this and that, you know, really go through and get through the narrow gate in regards to these situations. Because, you know, I seen it in group. There was a lot of people that were, like, on the, like, the depot shots and this and that, or on, like, medication and whatnot, and, you know, they just didn't, I was always guiding them off it. I'm like, it's going to be a suppressor, and it totally fucking is. Like, this medication that they put you on, it's like you just turn into a zombie, and that access to manifestation and spirit is, like, totally cut off. Like, that's a whole nother story if there's an agenda there. You know, I see it as the spiritual warfare, not like, man is totally ignorant in regards to the forces at play in spirit. And, like, that's one thing that, you know, why I sounded and looked so fucking psychotic, because I'm trying to, like, tell, you know, it looks schizophrenic. Like, I get it. Like, you look up the word schizophrenic and it just sounds like the same terminology as a psychic. You see and hear things that others don't see and hear. It's like, bro, I've just been making like more money than you, bro, for the last 8 years in regards to that terminology, and now you're going to like lock me up in an institute. It's like, what the fuck? So, you know, I don't want to have too much hatred or resentment in regards to it, because I do like to see the blessing in everything. However, it's bringing it up right now because, you know, I'm out the front of 777. It is right there around the corner from my friend's house. So that's why I thought, I'm just going to pop here in this lovely street and do a live. Like, why not? I go around and do lives like at the park, up on the hill, at the golf course, golf club, like whatever. You know, what's the difference within like, I mean, I go to 29 Southern View. Like, I go back to my old house from, you know, when Jay was alive and stuff. So, like, what's the difference, you know, being here? It's just bringing up a lot of fucking triggers because I was legit on one in this fucking street, bro. I remember running down the street at like 4 a.m. because, like, you know, there's a 24-hour servo down the road and, you know, on chat all the time, like with Americans, because y'all are awake, like at the late hours, the wee hours of the night for us. So, yeah. Listen here. This is about having supernatural faith. I'm going through a move and there's just so many fucking things. I had to go to so many different appointments today, so many different dates, so many different like things that I have to organize. I've got to get the carpets clean. I've got to get a skip bin. I've got to fucking, you know, chuck out furniture, get new furniture. I've got to, you know, sort out the electricity. I got to do this, got to do that. And like all these different things, like, I do have trauma too because of like what happened last time, like when I moved out of 777 house, right? Like, again, I was on one. So, you know, it's bringing up certain memories, certain pains of the past, which then I can see I'm projecting fears and insecurities of the future. And the whole time, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, God is just like, calm the fuck down. I'm seeing it through the reflections, like I stated Sunday and stuff, like, you know, everything is fine. Calm down. You know, and I was guided to just pick up these energies and drop them off where I fucking had the trauma, had the wound. Because, you know, at this 777 house, like I really had, you know, spiritual psychotic episode. You know, I was going through the birth of my mediumship, necromancy, and like that freaked me the fuck out, where I was connecting to past, you know, loved ones that have passed away. And, you know, that was like so intense because they were coming through like so profoundly in ways that like, it was just so uncanny. Like there's no way that, you know, it's not true type of things. There's things that I just couldn't have known, which were clarified in the external by their loved ones and this and that. And it's just like, what the fuck? So that was a huge awakening. You know, everything turned quite like satanic. Everything turned quite demonic. I wouldn't necessarily say satanic. I would definitely say like Luciferian, reptilian, draconian. You know, I definitely was connecting to extraterrestrials, which like I did connect to, which I don't believe in aliens as being physical. Like this is legit spirit. What you're tapping into, again, stars are not even what you think that they are. Planets are not even what you think they are. Like, everything is energy and motion. You could see it as a primordial field of the waters above. Like, that's probably the best finger pointing, like it states in scripture. But, you know, I definitely had some supernatural experiences, and I was quite aligned through that experience to the supernatural faith. And I feel like through, you know, being shut down, being put on medication, losing that connection to God, and like as soon as I could, I got off the medication and started to rebuild this connection privately, secretly, quietly. And it took me a good 12 months to really get back into, that's why I've started doing tarot reading again. I've just started like tapping into the horoscopes to really build my gifts up again. I must admit the mediumship never stopped. Like I tried to fucking shut it down. I tried to suppress, you know, these past loved ones. But again, I can sense them all around. Like always, I have like this entourage, an Adonai Tezavot, if you will, of God's army, like around me, which are the angelic beings of past loved ones. Like, you know, in some way, shape or form awaiting that great, awesome day of resurrection. Like, this is just how I'll put it. But, you know, I really had to build my confidence back and the strength, like, you know, within my weakness, I was gifted God's strength to really, you know, have the balls to come back on, not because of judgments of the external, like from my followers or anything, just the fear of being labeled crazy again. I must admit, the fear of the ways of the world coming with those fucking needles, you know, for my bum. And I was just like that fucking scared the living hell out of me. I didn't know that, you know, you could actually be forced to have medication. It's just like, even when I said like, all right, I'll submit, you know, they're just like, yeah, well, cool, you've got to submit to this medication. Like, I'm like, no, I'll submit to shutting the fuck up. I'm not going to submit to the medication. And it just continued because my spirit is, you know, so strong. Like, I'm stubborn. I'm not going to be poisoned, bro. Like, it literally was this experience of being poisoned, this raping at a level of soul. Like, and, you know, that really, you know, sent me down this spiral, and I started accusing everyone of being this a perpetrator. I really fell into victim state consciousness, and it did turn psychotic as fuck. Like, you know, I was thinking things that really weren't real, right? But I can tell the difference between, you know, paranoid psychosis and spiritual enlightenment at this point, which I wish the ways of the world and the Western medicine could tell the difference, but ultimately they can't. You know, they say since 2012, they've, you know, through Harvard University, they've been teaching nurses, you know, through emergency department aspects, you know, the difference between, I fucking doubt it, because they just literally want to shut you down when you're going through this like hyperactiveness of I don't know what this car's doing behind me, but the lights are like shining. So sus as fuck. Can you see them? Down there, there's a little car. Oh my god, she's getting the paranoid schizophrenia back. I just really feel the fucking trauma from this street, bro, and like, there's such a witchy vibe. Everybody has like weird ass cats like around here, and you know, the spirit was very strong. Here comes the car. Like, I hope it's not the fucking police, bro. I hope these people haven't called the police, because I'm sitting at the front of the house, but no, it's not. Emily, calm the fuck down. Do not pick up your trauma. We're here to drop it off. So yeah, because I'm having these fears and these pains of the past, like, you know, I was really guided to this ley line, right? Everything is like energetic grids of time space. I was really guided to this ley line to drop it off. I'm just letting it go, blowing it out underneath the huge ass full moon, and, you know, just gonna let it flow. And the more vulnerable that I speak about these things, like, I could have done it without going live or anything, but God really guided me, like, you know, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit here and, like, you could be of service, because I think Katie actually posted something of scripture today. I can't quote it. However, it says something like, we stay sober by being of service for others. And I mean, you know, sober in spirit, it talks about, because that's really what happened in the street. Like, I must admit, like, you know, I say it was drug-induced psychosis, but, like, I'm so tiny, like, I really only need a small amount of drugs. Like, I really wasn't using that much drugs. Like, I legit was drunk in spirit. It legit was spirit. I was gobbling it up, and, you know, I was playing with the likes of the bright morning star in a way of pride, I must admit. So, speaking it like that for the Watchmen, you know, let those that have the ears to hear, hear. But yeah, definitely had some phone sessions today. That was really good. Thank you for all my new clients. It's really been helping. If anyone wants to fucking donate and give me money for a car, that'd be great, because this car is just getting old as. I've had it for like 8 years. It is the purple Wokemobile, and, you know, I'm just ready to upgrade. Interesting. So, yeah, divine supernatural faith is really what I've been guided to embody over these next 2 weeks, right? You know, I'm going to be moving over these next 2 weeks, It's going to be really testy in regards to like how well I flow. I'm either worrying or praying. So I've been like, every time I get this sense of worry, I've been going into prayer. I've been going into I am affirmations. I've been going into visualization. Like, I really use a mixture of prayer first, and then I embody it. I know I'm gifted the I am presence. So, you know, I move into as if it's already so. I mean, certain watchmen, I'm not going to name names, but, you know, they would definitely, you know, try and call me out and be like, oh, you're faking it till you make it. And, you know, I actually heard this from someone else the other day, like, oh, you can't fake it till you make it anymore. Yes, you fucking can, okay? You can move into visualization as if it's already so. That is the most powerful form of manifestation through law of attraction. Everything is energy. You know, everyone wants to say, oh, we're transcended into a new earth. Like, yeah, I get it. Every moment is new, though. Every moment is brand new in perception, but then again in the polarity, spirit don't change. So, you know, it's just about being that middle path, walking through the fucking narrow gate, being on the pathless path. But yeah, very like old Kabbalistic Masonic energies, like I've started to realize around this place. Like where I'm living right now, up on the hill in the hood, you know, that's really fucking, like, it's Aboriginal territory. You know, we're on the edge of the bush. I've got commission houses all around me. It's a fucking bush dust field up there. People are continuously arguing. There's such trauma. There's blood on the ground. You know, it's like, it's old Aboriginal spirit energy. Whereas here, this would have been through the like colonial era, like the colonization type of realm. I'm gonna head down because I'm gonna go to the shop. But you know, where the whites were established, and like a lot of these old heritage houses, like the room that I was living in back at 777, it would have been the slaves' room. Like, you know, I gave the kids the biggest room, and like, you know, I had the one with the little fireplace. Like that would have been their housekeeper or Puss. Puss. Hello? Puss. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna do this. I don't really care about the ways of the world anymore. I'm done. We're having a fun old time. Fuck. Nice to come live. Like, I just really like the trees around here. Puss. Come on. No? Black cat don't like me. Okay. So yes, it's been very interesting. I think my friend's messaging now, so I'm gonna hop off, but you know, I hope this helps like some of y'all. It's just about having that supernatural faith. I don't know, you're either worrying or praying. Move into prayer, then move into I am affirmations, then move into the visualization. It's already so. Yes, it is a form of faking it till you make it, if you will. But manifestation is so powerful at this time. Like the full moon in Libra that has come through is, you know,